his third season at Riverside. His Rebels have already posted a 3-0 record, including a huge win at Shreveport over Evangel. He previously got at Salmen the 3 state championships, so he has the roadmaps to the Dome. They beat West St. John in that guard, a very good program, 47-22 this past weekend. And they will play at St. James in their new stadium this coming Friday night. Please give a warm New Orleans Quarterback Club welcome to Coach Bill Stubbs of the Riverside Rebels. Bill?
I assured my wife when I do these things sometimes, I ramble. So she told me last night, look, Bill, put something on paper because you'll keep going and going and going. So I said, all right, you got to take care of the wives and make sure they're happy. So, but it's always an honor to come here. I want to thank Kenny for letting me come and seeing Coach Baggs. I had to say last time I saw you, look, man, I think we were across the field. And that seemed like just yesterday. So guess what?
Believe me, it was.
It wasn't. And Boo, I'm seeing all these guys up here. It's really good. It's really good to come here and talk a little bit about our program. Leaving a private business 3 years ago to re-enter the coaching profession after about 11 years absent. It didn't come it came with a lot of challenges, but at 61 years old or 60 years old, a lot of the challenges were, do I have the energy and do I have, the stickability and to go out and maintain and be able to give the kids what they require. There's a big change between 12 years ago with kids and changes today. So the only thing I did is I kind of went after a two-pronged approach. I said that, and I was allowed by Coach Timmy Bird, who's our athletic director, and Dr. Perry DiCarlo to be able to go out and just get the coaches that I need. And so the first order of business was, look, let's get the best coaches that we can get, and we accomplished that. And then the other part was being able to get in there and take advantage of the cutting edge, state-of-the-art training that is so valuable. That I cannot tell you that every day, you play football 4 months, 5 months out of the year, but the rest of that time is all really dedicated to developing that player, both mentally and physically. When you're out there, so there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things out there. And God knows. I think they're paying strength coaches now in some of these major colleges. They're paying them $400,000 and $500,000 a year because it's so vital. So you're able to kind of insert a mindset. Those guys are very, very valuable. So we did the same thing. So that was the 2 things that we decided to do. And I think that right now we're beginning to reap the benefits of both. A little bit about the season. Early in the summer, we had a phenomenal quarterback. I think he threw for, in 2 years before he broke his leg against Newman, I think he had close to 4,500 yards in his freshman and sophomore year with somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 touchdowns. Deuce Wallace, Timmy's nephew, came from Tennessee. His grandfather got sick, so he had to go back to Tennessee. So that was midsummer, man. Boy, like that took a chunk out of all of our heart. But really, as far as our plan, when you have a kid that good, you're relying on a lot. Well, we were fortunate that he had a really good supporting cast around him. Actually, some of Timmy's basketball players who, most of these guys have got D1 offers in basketball, multiple D1 offers in basketball. So, we had to kind of turn to those guys a little bit. We were fortunate that we brought in, last year as an 8th grader, we had a young man, Jordan Loving, who was, he's a 6'3", 205-pound, 14-year-old. All right, now that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. And, but his skills were a little bit raw. So we just, 4 or 5 hours every day, we were pounding in the summer. And so he's come in and really done an excellent job for us. I think that, there's going to be a lot of talk about this kid in the future. I think he's going to continue to grow. So, he's slow-footed, but he's really got a very, very good arm. So, we're really hoping that he's going to take us a long way. And plus, there is a lot of job security when you have a kid like that. But the challenge, as the season got closer, the challenge really was more, the challenge was to our defense and to our special teams. Because they all knew where we were at. They all knew, we're going to have a pretty good football team this year. But everybody was really conscious of Deuce leaving. And so those defensive guys, they really stepped up. Special teams have really stepped up. I think that, and the way that we're playing right now, that defense is pretty much taken it as a badge of honor. Because they are really doing some great things for us during the course of the first 3 games. And just like Kenny was talking about, our first game, we had an impressive showing against Evangel in Shreveport, which is a tough place to play, number one. We had to travel up there in a day and then come back in a day. That's pretty tough on high school kids. But they handled it well. I think that, we came out of there, we won, I think it was the last minute and a half of the game. Big touchdown strike to Herb McGee. You probably heard that name before. I kind of credit our speed and conditioning really with what it was 22 fourth quarter points in that ball game. Now, consider that Evangel, they hadn't lost a home opener since 1995. So that was a pretty impressive win for a bunch of guys getting on a bus from Reserve, Louisiana, and going up there and playing, a storied program. Second game against Laurent. Laurent's a good team. We watched them on film. They beat Ponchatoula. Ponchatoula, with Hank over there doing a wonderful job. So we were a little bit concerned. It was a sloppy night. We had great defensive play. Another one of Timmy's basketball players, another D1 signing, multiple D1 offers, Vaughn Julian. He had 3 touchdown receptions that night. I think he touched the ball 5 times and had almost 200 yards in receiving. That's pretty impressive. Last Friday night, we went to West St. John, and everybody always knows about West St. John. They've got really excellent football players. They just turn them out year in and year out. It's a big rivalry that kind of reignited last year. We won it in the last seconds of the game last year, so we were expecting a really hard-fought football game, and it was. We were able to jump on them early, come out and get a 21-point lead early on, and we just kind of worked our way through that. But and then of course this Friday night we have I just drew a blank, and that's St. James. Gosh, where am I at? Dwayne, they're doing a really good job. And they're turning that thing around. And the River Parish is a heck of a place to coach football. They got some tremendous talent, and St. James is certainly. I mean, they're coming back stronger than ever. I think before I open up for any questions, right now in 3 ball games, and this is pretty amazing. We've got 15 turnovers in 3 games. We're right at about a 70% success on third downs, and roughly 50% are three and outs. So it's hard to argue why folks, talk about defense wins championships. I think that if we stay healthy, I think we've got a really good shot this year. Again, there's a lot of factors that play into that, but mainly being healthy, I think the kids are really starting to mature and understand some things that we're asking them to do. So with that, if there's any questions.
Raise your hand.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned you had a good kicker last year. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's a junior. He's a junior right now. I think that, I don't have the stats in front of me, but he's putting the ball in the back of the end zone, so that's huge. When you go against talented people, they kind of feature, they're always going to feature that return guy. And in high school football, you got to hang on sometimes because when they can go, they can go. So that really gives us a great advantage. I think he's 4 for 5 in field goals right now. I think he's maybe missed one extra point. So I suspect this kid's going to get a lot of looks. Anybody with a leg like that, but he's a kicker. And sometimes those kickers, they get a little squirrely. So, we just have to deal with that. Any other questions?
I lived it.
Yes,
I got a general question
sure.
about football, high school football. I have a 17-year-old son and a 12-year-old son. Back when my 17-year-old was 12, all his best athletes' friends played football. And now they're going to Catholic League and some of them doing real good. The 12-year-old, none of his friends play football. They all play flag. I guess my question to you is, have you noticed a drop-off in kids coming in to play tackle because of
You know,
concussion? I guess a lot of the whole thing behind the concussion deal, the mommies don't want them to play, and they're playing flag. Have y'all noticed that? Does that affect?
you know, where I was at before, and before I got back into coaching, when I was doing performance training over in Slidell, yes, I did notice that. I think that it's a little bit different at the school that I'm at because we had pre-K all the way up through. So, those kids, and we played 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th grade football. But there are some concerns. But I think that the way that most schools, the way the LHSAA has introduced those concussion protocols, the media, as we all know, they'll take things and blow it way out of proportion. And I think that's probably some of it. But I think if you compare sports, and I know there's much more injury in soccer, debilitating injuries, than there are in football. So I don't think that I think the media does us a disservice in talking about these things, because I can tell you that in terms of injury prevention, that's been huge in the last 10 years. In terms of the protocols that take care of injuries, again, huge. Everybody, these guys, these sports medicine folks that are trained to do this, it's pretty amazing how they work. And then, of course, the rehab afterwards and the type of things that they do. So, again, I don't know. It's a tough game. It's very tough. This has been one of the hottest summers and practice that I can remember. Sometimes I think that maybe kids use those things as an excuse because you can't get around in football. It's going to be tough. Every day it's tough, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you got to be kind of crazy to go out there, in all those pads and that helmet and doing that in 100-degree weather. But that's what separates. I think that's what separates us from most others. So to answer your question, not where I'm at, but I have seen it. Yes. Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, thanks so much.